In the vast, sprawling universe of the internet, there are whispers of ghosts in the machine, phantoms born of code and ambition. But one name echoes louder than all the others, a name synonymous with the greatest technological mystery of our time. A name that represents either a single reclusive genius or a shadowy collective of visionaries who gifted the world a revolutionary idea, only to vanish without a trace. We're talking about the creator of Bitcoin. The question isn't just who they are, but what they've unleashed. To understand the why, you have to go back. Picture it, 2008. The world's financial system is on its knees. Giants of banking, institutions we were told were too big to fail, were crumbling into dust overnight. Trust, the very bedrock of our economic system, had evaporated. People lost their homes, their life savings, their faith in the institutions meant to protect them. The system was broken, and the world was desperate for an answer, an alternative. And then, in the smoldering ashes of that crisis, a message appeared. Not on the front page of a newspaper, but in a quiet corner of the internet. A niche cryptography mailing list. On October 31st, 2008, an entity known only as Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page white paper. The title was simple, but the idea was earth-shattering. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It was a blueprint for a new kind of money. Digital, yes, but unlike anything before it. Its core purpose: to allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. No banks, no intermediaries, no central authority to grant permission to freeze accounts or to print more money and devalue your savings. It was a direct challenge to the entire global financial order. But here's the twist that elevates this from a tech story to a modern legend. No one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. The name is a pseudonym, a ghost. To this day, their true identity remains a total mystery, fueling one of the greatest manhunts in the history of the internet. The list of suspects is a who's who of cryptography and computer science. Could it be Hal Finney, the brilliant developer in cypherpunk who was the first person other than Satoshi to run the software and the recipient of the very first Bitcoin transaction? He denied it until his death in 2014. Or perhaps it was Nick Szabo, a reclusive legal scholar who designed a precursor to Bitcoin called BitGold years earlier, with an architecture so similar that many believe he must be the one. He too denies it. The search has led to public misidentifications, like the hounding of an elderly Japanese-American man named Dorian Nakamoto, who simply had the misfortune of sharing a name. Then there are the claimants, most notably Australian computer scientist Craig Wright, whose assertions have been met with widespread skepticism and controversy within the crypto community. Some believe Satoshi wasn't a person at all, but a team of developers, perhaps from a government agency or a private corporation, working in secret. Linguistic analysis of Satoshi's writings points to a native English speaker with a penchant for British spellings like color and favor, further deepening the puzzle. But the most haunting clue of all, Satoshi is believed to have mined around 1 million bitcoins in the early days, a fortune worth tens of billions of dollars at its peak. And not a single coin has ever been moved. The creator of the world's most famous digital currency is sitting on one of the world's largest private fortunes and has never touched it. They simply built it, released it, and walked away. In 2011, after collaborating with other developers to refine the code, Satoshi handed over the keys to the project, sent a final email, and vanished. They haven't been heard from since. A ghost who returned to the machine. This brings us to the second great question. Is this ghost's creation, this Bitcoin, actually safe money? If the creator is an unknown, can we trust their creation? The answer lies not in the creator, but in the creation itself. It's built on a technology as revolutionary as the currency it supports, the blockchain. Forget everything you know about traditional ledgers. Imagine a digital notebook but with a few superpowers. Every time a transaction happens, it's recorded as a block. This block is then cryptographically sealed and chained to the previous block, creating a chronological, unbreakable chain of records. The blockchain. Once a block is added to the chain, the data inside it cannot be altered. It's immutable. You can't go back and erase a transaction any more than you can unring a bell. But here is the true masterstroke of security. This ledger isn't stored in one place like a bank's central server. It's decentralized. A copy is distributed across a vast network of thousands of computers all over the world. For a hacker to alter a single transaction, they wouldn't just have to break the cryptographic seal on one block. They'd have to break it on all subsequent blocks, and do it on thousands of computers around the globe, all at the same time. It is a fortress of code secured by mathematics and mass consensus. This makes the Bitcoin network itself one of the most secure computer systems ever created. So, is it safe? The network is. But safety is a shared responsibility. While the blockchain itself is nearly impossible to compromise, the way individuals interact with it is not. Lost passwords, hacked exchanges, and volatile price swings are real risks. The system is trustless, which means it puts all the power, and all the responsibility squarely in your hands. It's a new frontier of finance built by a ghost, secured by a fortress of code. It's changing our world, whether we're ready for it or not. Every single Bitcoin transaction gets recorded on the blockchain, a permanent public ledger. Think of it not as a book in a single vault, but as a scroll that instantly copies itself across millions of computers. Each new entry, each transaction is bundled into a block. Once a block is full, it's sealed and chained to the previous one, creating a chronological, unbreakable sequence. This is the chain in blockchain. To alter a past transaction would mean rewriting not just that block, but every single block added since, all while fighting the combined power of the entire global network. It's a task so monumental, it's considered practically impossible. And what seals these blocks? It's locked in with high-level cryptography, specifically a function called SHA-256. This process, known as hashing, takes the block's data and converts it into a unique fixed-length string of characters, a digital fingerprint. This fingerprint is unique to the data within that block. If even a single comma is changed, the entire fingerprint changes. This cryptographic seal links the blocks together. The system is secured by a pair of cryptographic keys, a public key, like your bank account number, and a private key, the secret password that grants you, and only you, the power to spend your funds. That makes the network itself super tough to hack. To corrupt the Bitcoin blockchain, a malicious actor would need to launch a 51% attack, controlling more than half of the entire network's computational power. We're talking about an astronomical amount of specialized hardware and electricity costing billions, just for a chance to rewrite recent history. As the network grows, this feat becomes exponentially more difficult. But, and this is a big but, Bitcoin's security model isn't perfect. The fortress can be impenetrable from the outside, but its greatest vulnerabilities lie within. The system's strengths are also its most unforgiving weaknesses. For instance, if you lose your private key, your password, your coins are gone forever. There is no forgot password link. There is no central authority, no customer service hotline to call. That secret key is the only thing that proves your ownership. Without it, your Bitcoin still exists on the blockchain, visible to all, but it becomes a digital ghost, trapped in a vault to which the key has been lost for all time. There are cautionary tales that sound like modern folklore. The programmer with 2 password guesses left to unlock a hard drive containing over $200 million in Bitcoin. Or the man who accidentally threw away hard drive holding 8,000 Bitcoins in 2013. He has spent years trying to convince his council to let him excavate a landfill, searching for a digital treasure buried under a mountain of trash. And since it's not controlled by any government or bank, you are your own bank. This sounds empowering, but it means you are also your own security chief. You don't get the same protections as you do with regular banks. There's no FDIC insurance. If you send Bitcoin to a scammer, or if your computer is compromised with malware that steals your private key, there is no one to appeal to. Transactions on the blockchain are designed to be final and irreversible. Once sent, it's gone. Plus, Bitcoin's price can swing up and down like a roller coaster. This extreme volatility is driven by a whirlwind of factors, pure speculation, shifting government regulations, news of corporate adoption, and even a single tweet from an influential personality. The price can soar to dizzying new heights, only to crash dramatically, wiping out billions in value. This makes it an incredibly high-risk asset. While some have made fortunes, many others have lost their life savings. Using Bitcoin as a traditional savings account is like storing your nest egg in a box of dynamite. So, who made Bitcoin? This question looms over everything, a central mystery adding to the allure and anxiety. The creator, known only as Satoshi Nakamoto, is a ghost. After launching the network and guiding its early development, they vanished in 2011, leaving behind a wallet with an estimated 1 million Bitcoins, a dragon's hoard worth tens of billions that has never been touched. Is it safe? The technology is secure, a masterpiece of modern cryptography, but it's not foolproof. The system is only as strong as its weakest link. And that link is almost always human error, greed, or carelessness. This forces us to confront a fundamental question. The real question is, do you trust the code, the cold, impartial, and unforgiving mathematics that powers the blockchain? Or do you trust the people behind the curtain of our traditional financial systems, the bankers, regulators, and politicians? With all their established rules, safety nets, and human fallibility, That is the choice Bitcoin forces us to make. A choice between two different kinds of faith. The debate is far from over. Let me know what you think in the comments. Where do you place your trust? Thanks for watching.